Welcome to Joe's Astrology, and we're talking about Gemini. What it's like to be a Gemini sun, how to calculate your life path, the life path of a Gemini, and we can do that, and we're going to do that in this video, and I'm going to use a celebrities chart. So let's switch over to that and let's take a look. So here we have Angelina Jolie, and she is a Pluto. Sun in Gemini here in the 11th, and she is a Pluto. We're going to go to Pluto here. The soul of her chart, it's in the third house. This is where she's coming from, the third house. And we're going to look at the south node as well, which is, here's the north node in Sagittarius in the 5th, and the south node is here in the 11th in Gemini as well. So she's got the south node in Gemini in the 11th, the Aquarius house, and the third, and the Pluto in Libra in the third, the Gemini house. So we see a lot of consistencies here where she's coming from. And what that Pluto in the third is, it's someone who is looking at their environment, in their close-up environment, and wants to put labels on things, wants to learn about what's this, what's that, what are we going to call this. They're really concerned about, you could say, their brothers and sisters. And we can see in combination with the 11th house south node, that she's coming from this place of brothers and sisters, friends. She's very much concerned about society, the health of society. And we can see that already with Angelina Jolie. You'd think, you see, if you just look at her sun sign, you think sun in Gemini. Well, what's Gemini? And you go through all the things that Gemini is. Well, it has nothing to do. Really, what I'm talking about has a lot to do with Aquarius, and this has really not that much to do with Gemini. However, it is an air sign, and Aquarius is inherently in the sign of Gemini. So that's one thing I want to point out here, that when we're looking at the life path, there can be consistencies in this that makes the life not as complicated, for lack of better terms, versus what we maybe get into another one here in the future where it can get more complicated. So where she's coming from, the 3rd, the 11th, very consistent there. South node in Gemini as well, lots of air. And where's she headed? Well, we look at the opposition, and we see it's in the 9th. The opposition of Pluto is in the 9th. Pluto is also retrograde. And there's 3 planets here in the 9th, Jupiter, Moon, and Mars. And we can also see where she's headed, the north node in the 5th in Sagittarius. And we see that Neptune is there. So we're seeing these planets near the north node and the opposition of Pluto retrograde. We can see that this person is not meant really in this life to stay in that third house, 11th house space. We can already see that versus someone who maybe is more meant to stay in this third house area. This person clearly, you just look at her life, actress, adopting kids from other countries, and the movies that she's done, the people that she's been with, very, very travel oriented, third house, very worldly, very understanding, wants to understand, seeks to learn. We see all of that here in the chart. Versus, let's say, someone who doesn't want to learn, because you can have a third house Pluto and a south node in the 11th that would have more emphasis in those areas that wouldn't want to learn. They want to stay fixated in their own opinions, etc., etc. So let's move on here. Let's go back to the sun. How does the sun play into this? Well, she's a sun in Gemini, and it's near the south node, and it's in the 11th. And Gemini has to do with, just like Libra, you could say Gemini and Libra has to do with putting on different masks, being very changeable. And also the sun is really what you see from her. She's an actress. She's able to put on different faces and become different people. We also see that with the Mercury in Gemini as well. the Mercury in the 11th, the Mercury Sun conjunction. This is what that means when we're seeing that more on the surface. And then we can see that we can go to the North Node. It's ruled by Jupiter. And the North Node in the 5th, being a creator, a person who expresses herself, an actress, someone who gets attention. And the Jupiter is in the 9th in Aries, a fire sign where Jupiter likes to be. It's in the Leo decan as well of Aries. So you can see she's meant as well to have the attention on her and to be this person who expands her persona, this larger than life figure, Jupiter midheaven. So we go to the South Node, it's ruled by Mercury. We can see that what she's bringing into this life is a lot of what I said in the beginning with this 3rd house, 11th house. This is someone, you might see someone who's in this 5th, 9th house area, or 5th, maybe 10th house area, and they don't have much emphasis on the 11th or the 3rd, and they might be more selfish. They might not be adopting kids. They might be caring more about their celebrity status and things of that nature. We can also see that she has Saturn and Venus in the 12th. So the 12th house or the Pisces house, something that can be associated with actors and actresses and performing arts. We see the North Node with Neptune, which would be associated with performing arts. And of course, there's much more that can be said about this chart, but I want you to see just to show you, Gemini, how the life path works in a chart. And we can see how clean, we can see how this really looks. Starts in the 3rd and the 11th, move to the 5th, move to the 9th. It's very balanced in that way. That this shows that this person has a lot of experience in these areas and not afraid to move into these spaces. So I'm going to leave you there with that, and I hope you enjoy this and have a great day.